What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing good and getting ready to learn exactly how to make your own LED sign just like this one for whatever logo or whatever it is that you want to make. So let's jump into this and get started. So just to kind of start things off, materials wise, all we're looking at is a 14-inch plexiglass circle, some poster board as you can see here, an X-Acto knife for cutting, and then a couple of different actually wrap materials. So one is just a frosted kind of clear wrap that will go on our logo. And then a whatever color wrap you want, multiple color wraps, whatever it might be. I'm using gray because that's what the color of my logo is for Tech Roundup. So that's the one we're going to use. And that's pretty much it besides a hot glue gun just to kind of put stuff together. But this is a very simple and very easy build. So starting off, we have our circle cut out for the back of our sign. And now we're just cutting out strips that are 1.5 inches thick in order to go all the way around the perimeter of that circle. And then we're going to do actually 1-inch strips on the inner side of the outer circle so that the plexiglass will sit right on top of that. And it'll also give us a perfect spot to actually mount our LEDs to. So we have a nice simple 6-foot LED strip that we can get. That way we can get 2 coils around the inside of our sign. And it's super simple, just peeling off the blue backing, and we're just going to stick it right around the inside of that bottom ring that goes around the back of our sign. And then this will give us plenty of lighting once we get the front plexi face on in order to have all that wonderful LED shine through. And I'll show you guys what we're going to do with the USB and all of that. Pretty much just going to unravel it and glue it around the outer edge as well. That way we can run a white LED cable into there. Much cleaner, much nicer than the black one. You can also get, different color LED extension, whatever you want. But as you can see now with the plexi on there, looks super sick, even just with like the normal foil that comes on the plexi, just the protective coating. But now it's time to actually do the wrapping. So here we go. We're starting off with a frosted clear on the actual plexi itself. So I just took off the protective coating on the one side, and then we're replacing that pretty much with the plexi, or with this frosted clear. I do wish it came in slightly bigger size, so it's right around 12 inches, and with the 14-inch plexi, we do have to do a little bit of a kind of a piece together of 2 separate pieces of this wrap. It was also a little bit difficult to get all the bubbles out. I tried my best. I definitely could have spent some more time, probably with a heat gun, to get the rest of the bubbles out. But it wasn't that big of a deal. Once the LEDs are lit up and all that, you barely see them. So I had no issues there at all. So now we're just going to cut off all the excess and cut it right up to the edge of our plexi. And this is just to kind of clean things up, and over top of that frosted wrap material, then we can overlay our final gray color over top of that with our logo. So all I'm doing here is pretty much making a stencil out of another piece of our poster board. So cutting out the actual logo that I'm trying to put on there, the Tech Roundup logo, as you guys can tell. So now it's just using that stencil to go onto our gray wrap material in order to cut out our logo. And this process definitely is probably the most time consuming. Trying to get all the detailed, intricate kind of cuts in there. I also wish I had a slightly sharper X-Acto knife blade to make easier work of this. But overall, it was a pretty simple process, and just took the time to go in there and neatly cut out everything. And this is a little bit of an intricate design. There's definitely more intricate logos out there and things like that, whatever you're trying to make a sign of. But overall, the process isn't too bad. Just takes a little bit of time, concentration, and just being a little bit detail oriented. But as you can see, we're kind of pushing through this, getting the TR and U cut out of our wrap. And we're trying to get this as centered as possible. That way when I actually overlay this onto the plexi and onto that frosted wrap material, that it is all centered and looking perfect and looking good on the actual sign. But then we can just use a scissor to easily just clean some of those rougher edges up. And actually, once we get it mounted, it's a little bit easier to use the X-Acto knife and just kind of peel away some small imperfections. But as you guys can tell, it looks pretty sweet. There's definitely some bubbles in there, like I mentioned, but you could either use a heat gun or whatever you want to kind of just get those out. But now you guys can kind of see what the finished product's going to look like. So the plexi is just going to fit right inside, sit on that little lip and fit inside the outer ring. And then, of course, the LEDs will shine from the inside. And you'll be able to see the Tech Roundup logo lit up. And then the gray, of course, will block out any light from coming out where we don't want it to come out on the sign. But let's get this thing plugged in just to give you guys a preliminary look at what this is going to look like. And I think that looks pretty sick. It does look pretty awesome. There are, of course, a little bit of imperfections in the cutting of the logo, but you could definitely, again, the more time you spend, the closer you look at it, the more attention you pay to it, you can definitely make that as clean and as nice as you want it to be. For me, I just kind of wanted something that looked pretty cool. Didn't want to spend too much time doing it and just have something awesome to stick on the wall. But now we're just going to use some simple command strips, college dorm kind of stuff, but very easy to mount and just stick right on the wall. Super low profile. You could use like a frame hanging kit if you wanted to, and just run, you know, a wire across the back of this, and then be able to hang it like you would a picture frame on your wall as well. And you could also make this thing wireless if you really wanted to, so you could use a USB powered battery bank in the sign itself and maybe charge it up every once in a while. I went with, you know, the extension with the white USB cable. That way I could just run it to a power outlet and have it pretty much powered on all the time whenever I want, and not have to worry about constantly having to recharge the battery. But now that we got this thing mounted on the wall, let's plug it in and show you guys exactly, you know, what the finished product is going to look like once it's mounted on the wall and strobing out some LED lights. So this thing, like I mentioned, it looks sick on my desk. It looks even cooler on the wall. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys learned a little bit of something. Just kind of a simple little arts and crafts kind of thing, but the end output is super awesome and super cool. So if you guys enjoyed the video, if you're thinking about maybe making something like this, definitely leave all of your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, get subscribed. Bunch more tech content out there. So be sure to subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video.